So I imagine you've heard how prayer supporters will pay more attention to a video update than to a printed prayer letter. So you're sitting there with your smartphone or your tablet or a camera that can record video, and you have a Mac computer and you're wondering, how do I get my video to where my supporters can view it? You know it's too big to attach to an email. How do you get it out there? I'm Steve Dwyer, founder of Edify Hub, and on this month's video tip, I'll show you how you can share your prayer video privately with your prayer supporters. So I've recorded a video greeting that I want to send to my prayer supporters. It's on my smartphone. I use that as my video camera. I have the USB cable plugged into my laptop, the one that came with my smartphone. I plug that in, and then iPhoto launches. If I scroll to the bottom of iPhoto, I have here the video that I just recorded. I'll create an event. I'll name it Video Greeting, and I will click Import Selected. The video is imported. I'll go ahead and keep it on my phone, so I'll click Keep Video. And here is that video. All I have to do is drag it onto my desktop, and then I have that available. Now, the way I want to share this with others is through Google Drive. If you have an account with Google, either a gmail.com email address or any other a Google Plus account, you can log into Google using that account. I'm going to log in now. So I'll click Sign In. I'll give it my email address and password. Now I'm back to the Google page, but I'm logged in. I click the Apps icon and choose Drive. Now, to share my video with Google Drive, all I have to do is drag the video into the Google Drive window, and it will upload. We'll fast forward it a bit here. And the upload's complete. Let's take a look at it. It's not ready yet. What Google is doing right now is preparing that file, because it's a pretty large video, and some people with a lower bandwidth connection may not be able to watch it as fast. So they're making several versions of it so that those with a low bandwidth can still watch your video with lesser quality. So it's being processed, getting ready. Let's check back in on it in a little bit and see if it's ready. And now it's ready, and we're going to go ahead and play it, and there it is. So the video's ready, and it plays just fine. But how do we let other people find it? This is where you're going to share the video using Google Drive's share function. Well, first, let's rename it and give it a name that means something. So we'll close this, right-click, choose Rename. We'll call it Video Greeting. Now we'll right-click again and choose Share. Now I could send it as an email, but we already know it's too big to do that. So I'll click Share. Now here you can see that right now only I can access this video. If I were to try to send somebody this link, they wouldn't be able to see it. So if I want to let them see it when I send them the link, I will change the sharing settings and say that anyone with the link can see it now. And what they can do is to view it. I could choose to let them edit or comment on it. I don't want to do that. So when I save that, now anyone who has the link can view it. So if I copy this link, then I can take that link and I can send it out in an email. So now anybody with that link can view the video. I want to look at the video file itself because, as you can see down here, Google only gives you 15 gigabytes. Let's take a look at this video file that we just sent up. If if we get info, we can see that it is a 35 megabyte file, and it's only 13 seconds long. So 1 gigabyte is 1,000 megabytes, give or take. If this 13-second video is already taking up 35 megabytes, then if you record a 10-minute greeting, it's going to take a lot longer to upload it, and you're going to use up that Google Drive space pretty quick. So how can you shrink that time? Well, I'll show you. There are two ways. One shrinks it a little bit, one shrinks it a little bit more. So if we open up the QuickTime Player and open the file, we're going to find that same video. We open that up. Now, all I have to do is export that file. Same definition, the 1080p, that's the same definition I recorded it in earlier. But QuickTime's going to compress it a little bit. So if I say I want to save it as a 1080p, then I can say video greeting from QuickTime, just so we can keep track of what's what. So we'll save this. It's exporting another copy of my video greeting. Now let's take a look and compare the sizes. So here's that original one again, 35 megabytes. If we take a look at what QuickTime exported, we do a get info on that. This one's only 17 meg, and it's still 1920 by 1080. It's still the same resolution, just compressed a little bit. So if there's a lot of motion, you might see a little bit of graininess in it, or mosaics. But with a video where it's just you talking to the camera, that's probably not going to happen. If that's still not enough and you want to compress it even more, here, let me close these. There's a program called Handbrake, and I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Handbrake, it's an open source product, which means it's free, but it also means that it's not signed. So if you have a newer version of the Mac OS, it's going to make it difficult to open. Once you download it, you'll have to right-click the app and choose Open. You can't just double-click to open it. But let me show you what Handbrake looks like and what you can do with Handbrake. So let me open up Handbrake. If I open up Handbrake and choose the file that I exported from QuickTime. Now it's important to start with the file that QuickTime exported. If you use the original file and then try to run it through Handbrake, Handbrake won't remember what side was up. When you took that video from your smartphone, sometimes you can have the phone upside down or one direction or the other, and QuickTime can figure it out. Handbrake doesn't. So you might end up with an upside down video if you try to start with the original. If you take the video that QuickTime exported, then QuickTime fixes for you which direction was up. And then Handbrake will remember and keep the video right side up for you. So we'll take the video that QuickTime exported and we will open that. Then we'll choose the video codec, this drop down here. Instead of H.264, we're going to use MPEG-4, and that will allow us to compress even further. And then we just change the file name. So rather than saying QuickTime, we'll say Handbrake. Now you won't call them these when you're exporting your real prayer videos, but just so that we can keep track of which is which. If I start the encoding, and it is done. So let's pull that over here, and we'll see the difference in the file size. So again, we saw that the QuickTime 1920 by 1080, and it was 17 megabytes. The one from Handbrake, when we get info on that, it's still 1920 by 1080. This one is 4.2 megabytes. So I've showed you how you can share your video updates with your prayer supporters using Google Drive. It makes it very, very simple to share it with only the people that you want to see the video, and it doesn't end with an advertisement for additional videos that you can't control. One of the downsides of using Google Drive is that you do have a limited amount of space. And I've shown you some things that you can do to make the best use of that space. One of the other things that you cannot do with a Google Drive video, at least not that I've found so far, is to take that video and embed it into a page on your website if that's something that you're interested in. If you want to be able to do that, then come back in a later episode and I'll show you how to share your videos using YouTube. Thank you for watching this episode of the Video Tip from Edify Hub. If this was helpful, click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel and we'll let you know every time a new video tip is available. For a complete transcript of this episode, click here and we'll take you to the show notes page where you'll also see a link to all of the resources that we've mentioned. While you're there, scroll to the bottom and click one of the social sharing icons to share this information with your friends so that they can benefit from the same information that you just received. When you do that, you too will help encourage Christian growth.